out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You are tuning in to Apartment 5B, hosted by your man, Kill. I got my squad in effect with me. As always, I got my little sis, Porsche. What's going on, P?
Not a whole lot, Kill. Good to be here. Nice to see everybody.
All right, no doubt. My brother, Vegas from BK. What's going on, fam?
I'd like to officially announce I am the third member of R&B Representatives.
He is. That is.
I'm not.
Oh my God, I was about to just go crazy, celebrate.
I'm not.
I was about to say I feel some kind of way. This is flashbacks of Johnny Gill and New Edition, because I've been trying to get down with him and Elise in a minute. I'm like, damn, Vague done got in. Both dark skinned, airy, same birthday. This is racism now, JR. I don't understand how that happened, but it's all good. JR, R&B guru, what's going on, fam?
It's been a minute. I've been gone for I think 3 weeks, so it's good to be back, man.
I thought it was a week, but we could call it 3 weeks if you want.
Nah, because I didn't come on last week or the week before then.
All right, my bad. You're right. I appreciate it. My brother Rel, Trash Van, Philadelphia, what's good, bro?
Yes, sir. What's good? Happy to be here, as always.
All right, y'all know me. Let's jump right into it. Today we are going to be chopping up about something I think that is missing in hip-hop. We have talked about it on the timeline. We've talked about it on shows, and that is the third verse. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite third verses, why the third verse is important, why we think the third verse is missing, and just this whole changing of the guard and everything like that. Because I did a third verse challenge on Twitter probably about 3 or 4 years ago when I was like, yo, here's a beat, MCs just jump on the beat. And probably about 13, 14 MCs actually accepted the challenge and did it. But one of the dudes was telling me, he was at a music hip-hop class at Berkeley or somewhere like that. He was like, yo, this is the hardest assignment I ever had to write a third verse. And it's I really want to kind of dive into that a little bit more on why maybe newer MCs feel that way. But let's get started on why do we think the third verse has disappeared. To be honest with y'all, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of laziness. I've heard a lot of people say it's because of streaming. And I don't know nothing about algorithms and all that stuff. So I've heard that, I guess if your song is shorter, then it gets more plays or something like that. And I also think with some MCs have done more, underground MCs they don't do a third verse. They just do real long verses. So their verse may be one verse may be a 48. You may get 2 48s. Or a Joe Budden that nigga may give you a 72. You know what I mean? Which is longer than 3 verses. So I also do think that's the flip of it too. You have some people who are only giving you 2 verses. Then you got some people who are giving you just crazy long verses. But my first answer is laziness. And then I guess this whole streaming hoopla. Vague, what about you? What are your thoughts? Why do you think the third verse is missing? And has been missing for a while. I didn't do the research on this and I should have. When did it disappear? Because I don't know if it kind of just hit me today. We're almost into 2025 and it's wow, this new millennium has been here for 25 years. And it's kind of I sometimes forget damn, we got 25 years under the 2000s. So I don't know if anybody up here can remember. I'm going to do some research while y'all talking and just try to figure out when it disappeared. But Vay, what do you think some of the reasons are?
I think it depends on who, the artist itself, right? I think there's some people, for example, a while ago, I kind of started doing that because I felt like between the 2 verses, I had kind of got the point across or the concept or whatever it was across. And I look at being an artist the same way, you know, musicians, specifically speaking about like jazz. Look at jazz, right? There really aren't no boundaries or rules to how you express yourself as an artist. So if it's 2.5 verses for this song, or 2 verses, or 1 long verse, it works if it sounds good, you know. But I think we just come from a time where that was standard, to have like the setup and then the middle part to hold everything together, and then the finale. But as a person who typically didn't have a lot of features, it's a lot of work. You know, I did it. I was used to doing it. But, you know, sometimes you can have a really tight 2 verses, and that 3rd verse is just not coming together. You kind of feel like, damn, now I feel like I'm making up something just to have the 3rd verse. So I think once people started doing it, you know, everyone kind of followed suit. Some still have 3rd verses, but like, to your point, it's kind of rare. So,
right. P, what about you? What's your thoughts on why has the 3rd verse gone missing from hip hop?
I kind of agree with you, Kill. I think that we hear that it's because of streaming. We hear that the shorter the song, I think you have to pass, like, I don't know, you pass a threshold, and then that counts as a stream. So you want that to be kind of, you know, you condense the song to meet that timeline. I don't know about the business side of things. And then I do agree with you that it's also laziness. I think that it's dope to have Vegas and Rel here as well, because they're both MCs and they can really speak to this. But I feel like most MCs just don't have the ability to explore the topic or concept that they're kind of trying to tackle, and they rush, or they jump into it, or they skim through it, or they could go deeper but they don't, because when I'm looking through the 3rd verses that I have, it's so sequential in the song. Even if it's a posse cut and it doesn't necessarily, you know, make the most sense together, it's always like kind of that topic explored a little bit further, and then giving you more, building on the previous verses. Like, I don't know, I feel like there's an inability to do this and execute it. And it sounds, I think when MCs run it back and they listen to it, they think it's too much, it's too wordy, it doesn't sound right, it doesn't fit well, because it's just like not organized. I feel like there's like an organizational piece in the writing that's missing. And so they just get rid of it entirely and condense it.
All right, makes sense. Joe, what about you?
I agree. I mean, we deal with that with R&B too, because it's kind of like there's no bridges. So we did.
Because I always found, I was going to say, like, is that the 3rd verse in R&B? Is it the bridge? Because it always felt like, you know, first verse, chorus, 2nd verse, chorus, bridge, then it kind of goes back into the chorus.
In a way, because then after the bridge, then it's kind of like you're ad-libbing while the hook is going on. But so it's like we did with that too, and it's just like, I agree with you, it's kind of laziness. And also I feel like these producers and songwriters and all that really don't understand song structure, like the standard of what it was. So it's like they are so interested in the hook, and that's their focus. Let's get the hook, let's get a verse, a hook, done. You know what I mean? Like that's it. And I guess it's just the laziness and the structure that people don't have. And I think everybody want to be different, so they want to do what they want to do. But I also just think it's the laziness of it all. And people just can't come up with a 3rd verse or a bridge because it's too tough. But that's what makes you an artist. You know what I mean? It makes you get into that creative mindset. But people don't do that.
Hey, bro, what you think, bro?
Yeah, I think it depends on the artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of artists that ain't saying shit in 2 verses. So, you know what I mean? Like,
do we really want a 3rd verse and you still not saying shit?
Yeah. And it's like JR said, a lot of it is hook related. Like, the hook is just where everybody's shooting for, so it can get played on TikTok, and it can be a dance could be made off of it and stuff like that. Like the whole art and song structure got lost somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And then,
Right.
but I will say I've heard like artists that I respect say they talked about the business side of it with the, you know, the streaming and all that, which I'm not really that educated on, so I won't even really speak on it. You know what I'm saying? But I do think it's artist dependent. You know what I'm saying? But I would have to really go back and research. I don't know when it started to happen like that, because you know the format I was used to was 3 verses. You know what I'm saying? With hooks
Right.
and you know what I mean. So somewhere along the line it got lost. You know what I mean. I will say as an artist, you know what I mean, a real writing as a solo artist 3 verses from and with writing your hooks, no features and all that. You know what I mean. It's not the most difficult thing in the world, like dude said. You know what I'm saying? But it's work. You know what I mean. But it's what we was doing for a long time. So I don't know when they got lost. You know what I mean? Because I've done songs where it's just one long verse, or you know 2 verses, whatever. But I like to try to stick to the format as much as I can.
Here's the thing, Veg, you keep your ear to the streets more. Can you explain what this whole streaming hoopla is? Because like nobody's ever really explained it. It's just been like, oh well, you know, if the quicker the song, the more streams you get. But I'm like, is that based off of somebody thinking, okay, like, is it after a certain point of listening? I've been listening to the song for 60 seconds. That counts as a stream, or like, is it some like that, or like, what is the science, or do you even know what the actual science is? Because I feel like now some people are just leaning on that as a crutch, because nobody has ever been able to explain to me, Kill, this is the reason why. It's just like, oh, it's just streaming. It's just streaming. And I feel like it's just caught on, and now that's just the answer. But no one has ever explained to me like what it is. Because my thing is, if it counts as one stream after 40 seconds of listening to it, then who cares if the song is 6 minutes? Right. Or is the thought process, well, if the song is 2 minutes, then you can get more streams in because the person won't be bored? Or do you know the science behind this?
I think it has more to do with how people consume music, right? Like they're quick to skip. I mean, shit, all of us are in a lot of ways, just because we have so much, even when it comes to shows and shit. And I feel like, you know, the shorter it is probably tied to how long people tend to listen if they like it. Like, for example, if on YouTube or whatever, if you look at most of the YouTubers and their videos, they mention a lot of things, they put a lot of things in front of you within like a minute, because they already know, looking at their stats, most people are out after this time, no matter how long I make it. You know what I mean? So they're trying to get you in as a view, but also send you to the next video, like when you see the cards pop up,
right,
or whatever. So it's like that stuff is for those people who are like, okay, I'm not hooked, I'm moving on to the next thing. So it's the same thing with the music. You know, the shorter the songs, especially if you like them, the more you probably listen or go to the next one, so on and so forth. But I don't think anybody really said anything about like, you know, this is the way to do it, because you got to have a lot of streams to make money. So I don't know why you would go through all that trouble to make sure the songs, if you're gonna have 1 million streams and get like $2,000 or something crazy like that. So
right now, let me ask y'all this: do you think for you all it's the length of the song? Like, does the third verse matter? Like, I was on HUR once, me and my homegirl Roz, we were doing some marriage exposed shit, and we were talking about like the thing was about women marrying men with a degree, you know. And I'm like, does it really matter if it's a degree? Because this really just comes down to money. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what it's about. Like, is a chick not going to date Rick Ross because he don't have a degree? No. So this conversation isn't really about a degree. It's about dating a man with money. You know, because if a dude is making $250,000 and don't have a degree, a woman is not going to be like, oh, I'm not dating because you don't have a degree. Because the degree is tied to the money. You know what I'm saying? So do you feel like the third verse is tied to the length of a song? Like, if the song is 3 minutes, if the average hip hop song with 3 verses is 3 minutes, and somebody gives you that in 2 verses, and it's still 3 minutes, does that matter? And the reason why I ask that, because JR, I made this mixtape. It was like the best of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis slow jams, right? And I was lazy. Yeah, this is the admittance of being lazy. I didn't feel like going through my catalog and pulling "Can You Stay in the Rain" from Any Heartbreak and pulling this. So I got like a best. There was like a best of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis like CD, and I just grabbed all the stuff from that and I mixed it myself. But I realized that these were shorter versions of the songs. And I'm listening back to it and I'm like, yo, no, can You Stay in the Rain don't stop right there. Like, no, Quiet Time to Play don't stop right there. Like, why? I don't like these songs being shorter. It's like I told somebody, Untitled, D'Angelo's Untitled is like 7 minutes. I don't want a 4-minute version of that. Like, I don't. Like, the 7-minute song is what I want. So for you all, is it the time or is it the verse? Or does it not even really fucking matter? I love Benny's Rubber Bands and Wait, but the song is probably like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. You know what I mean? Because it's right in, it's right out. You know, it's an in and out. You know what I mean? It's a quickie. You know, there's nothing wrong with a quickie in life. You know what I mean? But sometimes you want something a little bit longer. So is it, you know, y'all know the question. Is it the verse? If you get 2 long ones, are you good, or is it the time? Because like I said, I never thought about time, and I'll send this mixtape to y'all, and I guarantee you all will feel the same way, because these songs just end earlier than what we're used to them ending. So Beck, what about you?
I kind of look at it like, if you're telling a story, I kind of expect 3 verses. Like, it almost feels mandatory when you're telling a story. Or if you're talking about any kind of deep subject. But if you just spitting randomly, I don't care if it's 1 long verse, 1.5 verses. I think Rubber Bands and Wait is the perfect amount of time, because I just always run it back. But the Bronze joint is a little frustrating, because that's like a verse and a half, and it's like, well, now it feels incomplete, because
now hold up, babe. For what you just said right there, Rubber Bands and Wait, quick, you run it back. Is that part of the streaming thing? Is that like one of the hopes? Like, if the song is shorter, then you'll want to hear it again. So then that's another stream. Yeah,
because it should. Well, it depends. No, they probably count when you restart. So yeah, that would count as a stream.
Now you were saying Brian is more frustrating because it's only a verse and a half.
Yeah, it's like a verse and a half, so it feels unfinished. You know what I'm saying? Okay. But if it's like a story, you know, most stories I've written have been 3 verses, depending on the type of story, or maybe it's 1 long verse. I think a lot of the songs I've done in recent years have been short because I'm writing 2 beats. So sometimes the beat is like 3 minutes, and I kind of craft the song around those 3 minutes or 2.5 or whatever, and it isn't room for a 3rd verse, but I'm kind of cool with it because I like how it sounds completed. Right. So yeah, I think if it's storytelling, it should be a 3rd verse, but beyond that, I think it's only important depending on the subject matter.
And it's funny you was talking about Benny, because then I think about, you know, Trust More Valuable Than Love. It's a story and it's 3 verses. Right. You know, with 3 different beats. So it's funny we're talking about Brian, but then it's like, if it's a story, then it needs to be 3, and that's when Benny gives you the 3. Porsche, what about you? What you thinking?
I don't think. To me, it doesn't matter if I like the MC, and I only listen to people I like. I don't really go play music of people I don't like. So for me, I love the length of the song. Like, I don't want to hear, you know, MCs that I love, RJ Payne, you know, Tracy Lee, Ransom, like Vegas, Rel. Like, I don't want these people to just give me a verse and a half or 2 verses. I want to hear, if they want to give me 5 verses, I'm here for 5 verses. You know what I mean? And I'm going to listen all the way through. So I don't care if that song is 8 minutes, but like, if it's short, I'm a little bit annoyed, because I'm like, well, you could have, you know, like, you're capable. You could have done it. You could have given us that 3rd verse, that longer bit. So yeah, but I mean, it just depends.
All right, JR, what about you?
I'm the length because I'm with you, Kill. I just don't like radio edits. To me, it messes up what the song was supposed to be to begin with. So if the song was supposed to be 7 minutes and you cut that joint down to 4 minutes, it messes up what the song was supposed to be to begin with. So I'm not trying to, like you said with Untitled, I don't like the radio edit. I don't like the video.
I didn't even know there was a radio edit of Untitled. I just knew that this song is this way, and if I heard Untitled that was shorter, I'd be salty. Like, yo, where's this part, and where's the riff, and where's the ending? Like, you know what I mean? Like, the song builds up to that, and we're gonna talk about that too. Right. That how I feel like the third verse was also the build up of the song, because a lot of times with the third verses, the beat would change. Something would happen different going into that third verse, which made the song more of an experience versus it just being just a beat. You know what I mean? But we'll get into that because almost all of mine do that. And I kind of realized it like, oh shit, right. The third verse, you try to, even when I'm sequencing my beats, I still sequence it in 8-bar chorus, 8-bar chorus, 8-bar chorus. And I'm putting pockets in there where the drums drop or where something changes to bring something more to the beat. So it's an experience, not just, you're just rhyming over a loop all the time. Bro, what about you?
Yeah, I think it's the length of the song, and I think it's the length of the song and making sure the song sounds complete. You know what I mean? Like, Braun is a good example because that song sounds incomplete. Like the first verse he raps, and then that half verse, and then it kind of stops, and then the song is going off, and it's like it sounds incomplete. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you want to avoid. You know what I mean? So, like, I would say, even if it's like 2 long verses, like you can feel like you had a complete song with that, you know what I mean? But that 1.5 or 1 verse and a hook, and then it goes up, like it's disappointing. It make you want to hear more, of course, but it's also like disappointing and shorten the audience. And like for stories, like I agree, like 3 verses for a story or 2 really long verses for a story is like the format that I'm used to and what I use, you know what I'm saying?
Right. And Veg, I loved your point about the template being like that, because I wrote down it's kind of like writing a term paper. So if you feel like back in Morgan, it'd be like, yo, you got to write a 10-page paper. That's just it. And there would be times when you're just fishing for shit to put in there because the paper is done at 5, but it's like, oh, the teacher want 10. That's the minimum. So I think that point is key as a writer, that if you feel like you've gotten, because here's the thing, people watching, there are hip hop verses from the 80s and the 90s that ain't 3 verses. Like every hip hop song was not 3 verses. So I don't want somebody's going to be like, no, but Bonita Applebum was only really 2 verses. And I'm not saying every song was, but it's just, I agree with what Vegas is saying, is that as the writer, if you feel like you are done telling your story, then that's okay. Which is totally different to me than what a lot of newer MCs are doing, which are either 2 things to me, which is laziness, or they just have a new template. This newer generation's template is 2 verses. You know what I mean? So that's why the guy was telling me, yo, Kill, this is the hardest thing I've had to do. Like, I'm really stretching myself as an artist to come up with this 3rd verse, because I've never had to write a 3rd verse before. It's like if these new school people, professors may be like, just write the paper. So if they went back in time and had to write a 10-page paper, they'd be like, yo, bro, come on. Like, what I'm supposed to talk about for 10 pages, because that's not what they're used to. Let's go into our verses. The first one I'm going to start with, Nas's I Gave You Power. And again, it's just, coming from a college perspective, you're taught, your introduction, the body, then the conclusion, So that's what I was raised on. I've been going to studio since I was in 7th grade, since I was 12 years old. And my man Hollis would be like, we would write our rhymes and he'd be like, well, where's the hook? You only got 2 verses. Well, somebody got to come up with the 3rd verse. So I know in my generation, somebody was telling you, yo, the song's not done. The song's not done. Finish it. It's almost like, what's that shit I don't bake? But, of course, you the cook. don't you gotta put something in the cake like a toothpick to pull it out to make sure that, like, it's like the cake ain't done, nigga. You gotta let the cake go back in the oven. Like, yo, you're not finished. And like, usually that's what the engineer would be telling you, because we're coming from an era of you're renting a studio, because people that just didn't have studio equipment. You couldn't just go to somebody's house. You would usually go into some type of studio, and that engineer is telling you, well, no, it's 2 verses, it's this, it's that. Similar vague to what Shannon Marley was telling Rakim, like, dog, you rhyming too slow. Like, you can't rap like that. Like, what are you doing? You know, this isn't the template. You know what I mean? And my melody may have 7 verses on there. My melody is a long ass song.
It is.
It's a long song. And as much as I love it, I even felt it as a shorty, like, God damn, this song goes on for forever. You know, like, it doesn't stop. But now, as I gave you power, I always use this example because you don't find out what happens if this song cuts off after the second verse. You're just left like, well, what happened? Like, okay. And, you know, I have like little parts of it quoted, and it's like weeks went by and I'm surprised. Still stuck in the shelf with all things that are outlaw highs. Besides me, it's bullets, 2 vests, and then there's a 9, there's a grenade in a box, and a tech that keeps crying. You know what I mean? And it's like, coming into that third verse, to me, is not just about in conclusion. A lot of these third verses I'm seeing, just the way that they're set off, it's almost set off just as strong as the beginning of the song was. You know what I mean? And for this painted such a vivid picture for me. Like, I'm looking at visually in my mind thinking like, this shit is like Toy Story. It's like in this tech that keep crying, like all these things, the bullets, the grenades, and it's like it Nas just brought that together. And if you don't have that third verse, like I challenge people, go listen to I Gave You Power. And if you're hearing it for the first time, cut it off after the first verse. I mean, after the second verse. You know what I mean? And then come back a month later and listen to the third verse and feel how it completes everything. Like, maybe after, if you're first listening to it, you're like, oh, okay, dope song, he's a gun. You know, but it becomes an even greater song when you go back and you hear the third verse and how it's completed and how he closes it out. So that's one of mine. Vague, what's one of yours?
I just want to say, like, you know, to your pick is kind of what, like Portia was saying, you know, like, if you have a concept like that, third verse is just going to expound upon it, you know, and make it a much richer experience, because now you're able to go even deeper with the concept. So it's almost like, you know, if you got 2 verses, and he was kind of telling a story at the same time,
right?
You just got the 2 verses, you know, cool, but it's so much better when he gets that third verse to kind of wrap it up and conclude the thing. So
right.
That's
and again, for people who haven't heard the song, listen to it. It would be a good song with 2 verses. It's a fucking amazing song with 3.
Right.
So again, it goes back to your goals. Do you want to make amazing songs, or do you just want to make good songs? And a lot of people in this generation, I feel like they okay with just making okay songs. Like, I don't really think that they're looking at like, oh, I want my legacy to be great songs. I think a lot of this generation, their legacy is money. You know what I mean? Like, my legacy is money. Look at my car, look at my IG, look at this, look at that. They're not, I don't know if they're thinking legacy like, you know what I mean? Kind of similar to D-Dot, how he was at Math Alpha show and it's like beefing about Dilla and why his name don't get mentioned. Well, nigga, you got the money. And I don't know if you can have both. You know what I mean? You either pick the money or the legacy. Because we still talking about Easy Mo B. Ain't nobody really talking about nobody with the hit. But y'all got your money. Like D-Dot said, I go to my mailbox, I get my checks. Well, nigga, that's what you get. But you don't get both. You know what I mean? My fault, babe. What you gonna say?
No. So my pick is not necessarily a story, but the subject matter, it kind of turned it into a concept, and it's Notorious B.I.G. Kicking the Door off of Life After Death album.
I have that on.
Yeah,
I got that one too.
I mean, when he sets off the third verse saying this goes out to those that choose to use disrespectful views on the King of NY. So it's kind of like, all right, I already let you know I'm nice in them first 2 verses, but now I'm going to talk to these dudes about, you know, it's still in the realm of kicking the door, but now I'm talking specifically to these other rappers. And the other line that really kind of brought it home for me as far as like showing his superiority over his peers was Ain't no other kings in this rap thing. They siblings, nothing but my children. One shot, you disappearing. It's ill when MCs used to be on cruddy shit, took home, ready to die, listen, study shit. Now they on some money shit, successful out the blue. You're lightweight, fragile, my 9 milli make the like it's funny. It's one of those things where you like, oh yeah, he's the king. Like he's
right. It's like checkmate. It's like checkmate, nigga. It's like checkmate.
Now to your point, if you just hear the first 2 verses, it's still a dope record. But that third verse just brings everything home. And I think for an album like Life After Death that had so many different types of hip hop sounds, that this just would have been a rapidy rap joint, and nowadays it would have been two verses. You know what I'm saying? But this, for him, this was like another concept. Like, yo, I'm gonna take it back to the block. I got Primo with me. It's time to get gutter. And you know, it's that time where we wrote 3 verses all the time. So yeah, I always looked at that as like, because I remember when I first heard it, I was like, Biggie just planting his flag, like, yeah, I'm back though. So, crazy.
Yo, my shit was, why try to throw bleach in your eyes? Now you brailing it. Like, god damn, this nigga said now you brailing it, man. This nigga's on some next shit. P, what you got up?
I'm gonna start with "Me and My Crazy World" by Lost Boys. Third verse, so super dope song. If people haven't heard, I feel like everybody's heard it, but if you haven't heard it, listen. So he's basically talking about dealing with 2 chicks at the same time, and why this, in this case, to me, this song would be completely incomplete without the third verse. And the reason for that is he tells you about the first chick, he tells you about the second chick, and then if there's no third verse, it just is like, okay, and like it would be probably the most incomplete song ever. But then the third verse is again like running thoughts and running like these scenarios, and then kind of bringing it back to the main chick, bringing it here. So for me, in this particular track, that third verse is so critical and it's so engaging. So if you just listen to it and stop it after 2 verses, you're like, yeah, thanks. Like you sort of feel cheated out of a track. But then that third verse up to the end of the song, you're just like, I got it. I get what he's kind of talking about. I mean, he's trifling as hell. I don't condone that trifling behavior, but
of course, we know you don't. We know. You love love. Love doesn't cheat. Love doesn't hurt.
Doesn't. So, anyways, trifling as hell, but I do absolutely love this song. So,
yeah, no doubt. Shout outs to Lost Boys, because that third verse on Renee, we don't that song doesn't get tied up without that third verse in Renee. JR, what you got, bro?
I'm gonna start with this one. "We Don't Give a Fuck" by DMX.
Okay.
And that last verse, to me, is he going at Ja Rule, just going at him, just being straight petty. Because the first verse, he's just like mad, like it's just general. Like you don't know who, he's just speaking on some general shit. Then Styles comes in and like, nah, dog, X, fuck them niggas. Them niggas ain't your dogs. Like he's going in. So it's like now X is like, all right, I gotta tell y'all who the fuck I'm talking about. And when at that last verse, he's going in, and you know he's talking about Ja. You know what I'm saying? So I like it because it's petty. So I'm with it. So I like that. So at the end, for him to do that at the end and kind of tie it up at the end instead of being general in his first verse, it's like, all right, now I'm going at Ja, and y'all know I'm talking about him. So that's why I like this. Yeah.
Right. For all the people out there on the timeline, there's nothing wrong with being petty every now and again. Sometimes there's some pettiness there. When it got out that Cam and Mace was buying Dame Share Rockefeller, I was like, yo, salute to, Dame, chess move right there. Jay and Cam don't really get along and all that stuff. So to sell it to him, like chess move, and niggas like, oh, that's petty. I'm like, Philly kind of raised me to be petty sometimes. So, it's okay.
On your timeline every day? Please.
Hey, I can't call it that.
Did you hear who they might sell it to though?
Nas, which would be crazy.
Crazy.
That would be the ultimate checkmate right there. Like
that is insane.
Yeah. Like and to sell that shit and then play Ether at the same time, like nigga, it's just who knows what may happen. Fucking Jay may cut his dreads off. I don't know. Bro, what you got for your first one, bro?
All right, man. I got Jada Kiss on We Gonna Make It.
Mm-hmm.
You got him and Styles back and forth for the first two verses. They killing it. And then he just come in and just on that third, man, like he has so many quotables in that third, bro. Like
dead rappers get better promotion, man.
Yeah, Iron Man dead in the ocean, he'd be alright. Then dead rappers get better promotion. Man, he was going in. How he started off? Jada, moi, kiss you, ass nigga, hood won't miss you,
chest nigga.
Yeah, my fire dead in the ocean. He be alright though. Dead rappers get better promotion. Why you don't laugh at death and cry at birth? You can't do it till you try it first. So be them young niggas eager to pull it. There's a message in everything. Trust me.
Trust me. Even a bullet.
Man, that shit was crazy. Like that's one of my favorite songs ever. And he, like him and Styles going back and forth was perfect. And then he just ended like that, like crazy.
That's a perfect hip hop song, like that beat, and it's a testimony of how two MCs could get the same beat, and Rass's joint is alright, you know what I mean, but Styles and Kiss is just perfect. Like it's just a totally different song, you know what I mean. So I always like that as an example of how you give two MCs the same beat, and both of them are nice. Like it ain't like Razzcast ain't no slouch, you know what I mean, like. He's one of the illest too, but that's how you make a good song. Like what like y'all made you made a good track. Them niggas made a classic song. Like when it was like Just Blaze versus Alchemist. I think Alchemist ends the show with We Gonna Make It. Like and the whole crowd is just going fucking crazy. You know what I mean? So we gonna say that?
No, I was gonna say around that time I was hosting Strictly Hip Hop, and we had the Razzcast version first, and because the beat was crazy, we was like, oh yeah, we're gonna play this. This is alright. Man, when we heard that Kiss and Styles P version, we was like, we not playing that other shit. We might do it as a common courtesy, like
right.
If you haven't heard the other
this nigga said Dial America. This is a courtesy call. Like,
it became a courtesy after that. Niggas would look up when you would play that. Like if Titan played Razzcast, would be like, why you playing that?
Why you playing that one, man? Right. Second joint I'll go because I always use these two examples. Jay's Song Cry. And again, to Veg's point, another story. You know what I mean? Like it starts with a face of stone was shocked on the other end of the phone. Word back home is that you had a special friend. You know what I mean? But what was also special then? You end up giving away without getting it, Jay. That's your fault. You know how many times you forgiven me? How am I supposed to know you was playing sick of me? You know what I mean? So I just think that finishes the story. Again, if you only hear the two verses from Song Cry, you don't know how this story ends. You're kind of left out there. You know what I mean? So that's definitely one. And then I'll never forget, because I remember playing this for the first time, and when, he goes into that, I'm a man with pride. You don't do shit like that. You don't just pick up and leave a nigga sick like that. T was like, that's beans. And I was like, out the mouth of babes, like, like she ain't even no head like that. She was like, that's beans flow. I was like, yeah, can't hold that, but and then like I really think just from what we said, there's so many great quotables in those third verses. So Veg, like you said, it's definitely a chore to come up with those verses. But I think if you've been trained like that's just what your brain is trained for. It's like a boxer. Like you're trained to go 12 rounds. The fight may not last 12 rounds, but you're supposed to be in shape to be able to last those 12 rounds. And for there to be so many great quotables in these third verses we're talking about, it just goes to show you how these MCs were. This is just what came with it. You know what I mean? Like one of my favorite Jay lines from that, come on, I was just fucking them girls. I was going to get right back. You know what I mean? Like, so again, you're still getting these incredible quotables from these third verses. So I think that's a big part of it too, is just being in lyrical shape to be able to write a third verse, and for it not to just be some old throwaway shit. Like these third verses we're naming are not like you see the song going downhill. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, I just ran out of gas. Let me just write something real quick. Like, nah, niggas' pens may be even sharper on the third verse. You know what I mean? Because it's the in conclusion piece of it. Vague, what you got up next?
I just want to add on to that real quick. I think in some ways to play devil's advocate, but also just talk about the writing process. If you're writing a song that's a story like that, we can't take away the third verse because it was written purposely to tee up a third verse. You may have constructed it a little bit differently if you were planning to only do two.
Right.
But one of the things I found writing a story or just leading into a third verse is that a lot of times I know where I want to go with that third verse, so it's informing my second verse. I'm trying to tee up that third verse as much as the third verse as much as I can in the second verse, so that the conclusion is stronger. So a lot of times the ideas are hitting you as you're on the second verse. Like, I'm gonna say this because in the third verse I want to make the scene this, and this. Or if it's
basically what you're saying is you're playing chess instead of checkers. Because to me, what you're explaining to me is like how when I first came to Morgan, I didn't know how to play pool. I used to work at the Bears then, so I just thought you just hit the balls on the table. My old head Sarah was like, nah, young boy, like, yo, you're setting yourself up for your next shot. Like, so that every shot is like very strategic on what you're doing on this pool table. So what I hear you saying is you're setting up your second, you're writing your second verse to set up the next shot for what comes in the third verse.
Right. It's like scripting for a movie. You know what I'm saying? You know where you want to start. You know where you want to raise the tension in the second verse, and you know how you want to conclude. Mm-hmm. So you kind of write with that in mind. And then the third verse is not difficult because you know you're not going to talk about half the stuff you've already talked about because you got a method to your madness. So
I think that's the word right there. You have a method. I don't think all MCs have a method.
No, I don't think these cats do. And that even go for Griselda in them. Because there's plenty of times where, like, I enjoy it, but I'm like, yo, you just rhyming. Like, you just rhyming all over the place, every song. And then, we don't necessarily get a lot from you beyond that. Right. Sometimes it's sprinkled here and there, but I just don't hear it sometimes. And I guess because, some of the shit we just say, okay.
Right.
I like it. So, all right. So I cheated a little bit because I started listening to music and different songs, and then I'm like, damn, this song isn't even 3 verses.
Right.
So some of my joints is like a story that's 1 verse, but I think it could have been broken up into 3. Right? It could have been a hook in between them. So I got Kendrick Lamar's Duckworth off the Damn album, and what I like about it, and maybe it's just the old head in me, and I felt like there's a part of the song that feels like the conclusion, so I just looked at it as a third verse. But when he sums up basically a chance meeting between his father and his future boss, and how it could have went ugly and changed his trajectory instead, them making a choice not to go the violence route, change their lives in the future because he grows up with a father, and he grows up to be, Kendrick Lamar, highly successful, and Top Dog has a changed life, and so does his father. And the only time they meet again is, in the studio. And I kind of always looked at it as a start where he kind of tees it up. He doesn't even say anything specific yet, and then he gets into the story, and then he concludes it, but it's all 1 verse. Right. I didn't realize until I was listening. I was like, yeah, there's no hook on this song. But it's a prime example of how you can do it without having 3 verses. But in a lot of ways, you could have easily broke it up and made it 3 verses.
Right. It's funny because with Duckworth, because the beats changed 3 times, I kind of looked at it like it was 3 verses because it was like the same thing with the Benny joint. by the beats changing. I kind of felt that, but you're 100% right, and that is a great example of how you can still get your intro, body, conclusion into, you know, without having to break it down like that. So that's a great example. That's a dope joint. Porsche, what you got up next, babe?
So the extreme opposite of my last pick, I'm going with Common's The Light. And I know you guys are gonna laugh at me, but I know that you guys all love Love too. So
as long as you're not telling me he should be a thespian, I'm fine with whatever you say about Common. I'm fine.
Listen, this The Light is like, that's my favorite hip hop love song ever, even more so than You're All I Need by Meth and Mary. And it's because of how diligent and intentional Common is with talking about like the best parts of, like, it's just so, like, it just captures the essence of love the way that I like it. So I just love that song so much. And I think without that third verse, I mean, he's just exploring it more and more. And so somebody like me who loves to, you know, I love love. I want to share that. And it's still a very, very dope song, just without any more than 2 verses. But that third verse, like, it's so cute. Like, he ends it with, yo, I'll tell you the rest when I see you. Like, I just love you. Like, what are you doing? You know?
You need a shirt. You need a shirt that says "She loves love." Like, that needs to be your shirt. That needs to be your catchphrase. Like, and it would sell. Like, cause what woman doesn't love love? Eddie, what's good brother?
You guys love love.
What's good? What's good?
Just don't. You guys want to pretend like you don't. You do.
I've been married 24 years, Porsche. I'm not pretending I don't love love.
Okay, good.
I love love.
Okay, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say to rain on this parade?
I'm real Trez, man. I love love.
Yeah, he made a whole damn R&B album with JR executive producing it. We all love love.
Okay, let's hear that. Okay.
Babe, what's good? What was you gonna say?
Okay, so if that's Portia's favorite song, love song,
yes.
What the fuck does yo, I'll tell you the rest when I see you. What the fuck did you say? Because I didn't get it, and I was like, well, maybe it's Swahili. I didn't know.
This nigga said it's Swahili.
Listen, it's a filler. That's what he's saying. It's like, I'll tell you the rest when I see you. Don't worry about this now. I'll tell you when I see you. That's what he's doing.
Portia,
like, so that you want to know.
I go upstairs right now to my wife and be like, hey, kada, yo, I'll tell you the rest when I see you. I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of here. Like,
hey,
don't
listen.
forget no piece on it too.
Vegas, if I told that to my wife, she'll probably call 911 because she'll think I'm having a stroke.
Right. Like, yo, he's having a stroke.
Right. It's like, bro, he can't talk clearly. He's mumbling. What the hell's going on? Like, 911, man. Help him out.
Porsche, we love that you love love. We do. We honestly love it. Eddie, what's going on, good brother? Good to see you again, man.
Likewise, man. What's good?
Been hanging out at them Knicks games out there in LA, man. Them Knicks meetups, man. JR's happy. JR, what you got up next, man?
They're getting cooked right now, though.
Yeah, bad. I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway, you ain't even had to throw that out there, Veg, but cool. So Kill, it doesn't matter if, you know, it didn't mean anything for the last verse to be there just because you like the verse. Is that
if you liked it, yeah.
Okay. All right. I got Imaginary Players from Jack.
Okay.
And it's so many quotables in the last verse. You know what I'm saying? Like, you brought a 4.0, you better get your change. You know what I mean? Ain't no platinum in those Cartier switch your frame. Like, it's so many quotables in that joint.
Jay
and
was talking his shit.
Right.
Shay was talking his shit on that joint.
On that last verse, right. He was just talking his shit. You know what I'm saying? Your single was 99 cents. Mine was $4. Like, he's going in on this. So that's what I like. I like you shit talking on this last one, just like X was on the one before then. Talk your shit at the end. And that's what I liked about it. And when you said this was the topic, that's why I was like, oh. And I was listening to the song when you hit me. So I was like, All right, I'm gonna talk about Imaginary Play. I just love the end on how he just go in. So that's why I like this verse.
Bro, what you got up next?
All right, man. I got let's see, what did I write? Oh, I got Cam on the Just Fire, the rock joint with him and
Beans and Bleak.
Bleak.
And Bleak.
Yeah,
that shit crazy, man.
Destroyed that verse. Like, he destroyed that verse. Like, he was like, go ahead, little niggas, fuck with them chicks. I'm the third little piggy.
I'm gonna fuck with these bricks.
Yeah, I got pies and cake. Niggas think doubling is turning 5 to 8. I turn 8 to 20, 20 to 100, 100 to 1,000, that to 100,000. In front of houses. Close them all down, dog. No one's allowed it. I'm copping everything. I'm done with browsing. It's the top don, glockpalm.com. Get your shit rock, man, like I seen
rock.
He went crazy on that verse.
Bag on that.
Yo, man, good God, man. And the great part about that verse is you on a track with Beans.
Yes. Who can
who can body you. And I would have to say Cam bodied that the best.
No, he washed everybody on that.
I'm like, yo, Cam went in on that shit, man. Just setting it off with them, I'm the 3 little piggies, I'm gonna fuck with these bricks, man. Like, yeah. I feel you. Eddie, what you got up, man?
Obviously, I don't know how deep y'all into it. I don't know what everyone said. But so if I repeat some, just let me know. First one, I'm gonna go with. I think Portia will like this one. I gotta go with Pac. Keep your head up. Third verse. Keep your head up, man. I think that's probably my favorite Pac verse. I think one of his most powerful. Like the way he finished that. I mean, I think the whole song is just a real positive song. It's kind of shedding light on a lot, but I think that last verse was just so powerful, and the passion that he put into it, like, it just gets me every single time, man. So I think it's perfect example of how to utilize that third verse. You know what I'm saying? Like driving the point home for that song.
That's dope. Next up, P.O. like this. I got Troy by Pete and CL. CL's third verse. I reminisce so you can never forget this. The days are way back, so many bear witness to fitness. Take the first letter out of each word in this joint. Listen close while I prove this point. C to the R-O-Y. How did you and I meet in front of Big Lou's fighting in the street? Only you took many years to see. I dedicate this for you to believe in me, rain or shine. So it just ties it all together. You know what I mean? And without the third verse, how do we know Uncle Sterling got the latest? You know what I mean? How we don't get Shaq strive to be live. You know what I mean? We ain't know Aunt Joyce had her own business. I feel like I know CL. I feel like you meet CL, you be like, yo, how your Aunt Joyce, bro? Like that third verse just, again, tied together one of the dopest hip hop songs ever. So I definitely got Troy up in there as a dope third verse. Veg, what you got up next?
I have MC Light, Poor Georgie.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a story, but she's in the story. But the story is about Georgie, and how he basically can't get right. And she goes a long way to describe who he is, but the way, like, you read the title and it says Poor Georgie, but you don't know why she's saying Poor Georgie until you get to like the third verse, because he passes away, he contracts cancer and he passes away from that and gets in a car accident, all kinds of stuff. So I just like the setup because it comes across as this relationship song first, but it's more about a story about a dude who like kind of lived a fast life and just couldn't focus and wound up dying young. And I just thought it was one of those songs where I heard it as a kid and I kind of like was hanging on for that third verse, like, yo, what, how is this going to end? Because this dude sounds crazy. And she just steps it up. But again, it's like she's setting you up by giving you some context behind the character. So by the time you find out what happens to him, you feel like, damn, poor Georgie. So I thought it was dope how she set that up and kind of brought it home with the last verse.
Right. Dope. Pete, what you got up next?
Rel's gonna like this one. I have "Feel It in the Air" by Beans. That whole entire song is phenomenal. That's one of my top songs of all time ever, like across any genre. Like I just
You know Philly niggas slow dance to that shit.
Yeah, that was a joke.
I saw that on Instagram and I love it. And I love it. I love it.
It's a house party. You put that on, you know, we gonna grab a shorty and, you know.
Yeah.
Produced by Heavy D, by the way.
Yes,
No
produced
doubt.
by Heavy D. That third verse, I mean, the whole track is very introspective. It's very sort of deep, so to speak. And that third verse, like Beans just, again, he elaborates more on what he was saying in the first two verses. And it's just phenomenal. Like, this is one song that it could have been 15 minutes and I would have listened to all 15 minutes of it. And this one is one that if it was shorter, you would feel cheated out of a very, very dope song. So this is like another perfect example of why the third verse is so important when you are talking about something of value and of depth and of something that you can like explore and elaborate on. The whole verse is amazing, honestly.
Feel It in the Air to me is such a strange song because
Eerie, yo.
it doesn't fit anything. It's not a fast song for the radio. It's not a boom bap song for the car. It's just what it is. Like, I don't know if there's been another hip hop song like Feel It in the Air. I remember the first time I was with my man Mills when I heard it, and he was like, yo, I gotta play this for you. And I heard it, I was like, yo, I like it, but what the fuck? Like, it was like a what's going on moment. Like, where do you play this at? Like, where do you play before this? How does this blend into the mix? But everybody loves the song, you know, but I think it's because Beans' words and his passion just mix them perfect with the music. But it's a weird song because I don't know if there's another hip hop song like it.
There isn't. It's a thought-provoking song and it's extremely relatable.
And then the video just fit perfect. The video just was like
Perfect.
on it, you know, just tied it up together. But I don't know if we'll ever get a song like Feel It in the Air like that before. JR, what you got up next, bro?
Unbelievable from Big.
Nice.
Ooh.
Unbelievable from Big. I mean, the second verse is
Coops.
yes. Leave no witnesses. What you think?
Witnesses ain't no amateurs. Yeah, damage MCs spare me. Ooh.
Clear not to hear me. Like he went off, and I just like I don't know how bars you counted, but I guess the last 3 bars when he just say, "Get ready to die." So God, I said hi, and throw some ice for the.
Yo, that we may have to do a show about closeout. Bars,
yes,
like the last 4 bars, because that right there, yo, tell God I said hi.
And throw down some ice
for the nicest MC. Niggas know the CeeLo.
Unbelievable. Like, woo.
Yo, the balls you gotta have to be like, yo, I'm gonna kill you. Now tell God I said hi.
And then tell him to throw some ice down on me. Like, yo, yeah.
Tell you, man, that nigga Big, man. And to me, these are some of those things that when people like, oh, he only had 2 albums. I know niggas who had out 10 albums, and I don't still get this reaction like that. Like, Unbelievable is what, 95? It's almost 30 years old? And I'm still sitting here smiling, listening, and thinking about what this nigga said. Like, nigga, I done forgot what some nigga said who dropped 4 months ago. I done forgot what the fuck they said. Exactly. And not only do I remember what Big said, but it brings a smile to your face. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Bro, what you got?
I didn't think it could get any better after the second verse anyway. But then how he ended it and put it all together at the end, it was just like crazy.
I mean, the whole song is unbelievable. Like,
period.
From R. Kelly scratching from the scratches is, oh shit, I said this nigga's name. That's the first time I've said this nigga's name.
That's why I was like, whoa.
Yo, this is how much I love Big. I done lost my Candyman stamp on this dude. I didn't say his name, bro. What you got next, bro?
I don't know how I follow that one, but
Bro.
so I'm gonna go to third verse from "Love's Gonna Get You." KRS-One. Similar to what Vague was talking about with Poor Georgie, like that story, he goes from being broke and getting introduced to the game, so getting heavy in the game, and then beefing with the person that put him on, and you think that's it, but it gets far worse in the third verse. You know what I'm saying? And the third verse just sums up and encapsulates the message in the song, where the love for material things and things like that can get you into trouble. And he ends each verse with, "Tell me what the fuck am I supposed to do?" And in the third verse, shooting it out with the dude hit a cop by mistake, and now they surrounded, guns out. Now what I'm supposed to do? So I think that third verse just summed up the whole story and summed up the overall message of that song. That was like one of my favorite songs as coming up as a youngster. So I'm gonna go with that one.
The other thing that Love's Gonna Get You, it was out at that era of the Jeep. You know what I mean? And that bass was just crazy, man. Like, so many cars was banging Love's Gonna Get You just for that knock that came with it. Eddie, what you got up next, bro?
Oh man, I'm trying to figure. I have a feeling someone already said this, but I Gave You Power. No one said that yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah. I mean, expound on it.
Yo, I just think for him to kind of tell that story with the personification, right, and then flipping it in the last verse, right? So if you think about the song title, "I Gave You Power," right, and then in the last verse, him as the gun, he's kind of taking power, meaning like, okay, I'm gonna make myself jam so you can't go and kill this dude right here, right? Then the way it ends, and it's like, to be continued, right?
Right.
Happy until now someone else grabs me, damn, right? So I think it was just really dope how he wrapped that up.
Yeah. I think that's like the thing we were just saying with JR about how you close the round, because it's almost that feeling in the movie, like, yo, you're gonna get away. Like, I'm free. Like, I did what I had to do, and then it's like, nah, nigga, somebody else grabbed me. Like, here we go again. Like, damn, I thought I was free, but they caught us. You know what I mean? So another ingenious way on how to end the round. Next joint I'm gonna go with is actually talk about being in lyrical shape. I'm going with Rakim Juice, Know the Ledge. You know what I mean? And there's four verses. There's four verses.
Yeah, which
so this is what I'm talking about when you gotta be in lyrical shape. And the nigga says, brand new morn, no time to yawn, showers on, powers on, late for school, catch the train, girls hit my style, they whisper my name, I push up like an exercise, yo, check the intellect and inspect the thighs. Like, yo, that nigga Rod was just a smooth ass nigga. Like, yo, I push up like an exercise, check the intellect and then check the thighs. Select the best one, pull him to the side, keep her occupied for the rest of the ride. Like, dog, just and it's crazy because this is almost the opposite of what he was talking about in the beginning of the song. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, yo, now it's time for me to go to school, and it's just like, and again, that's the fourth verse. You know what I mean? And it just like, again, be in lyrical shape, man. Be in lyrical shape, because I don't know one person who heard Know the Ledge and was like, oh, this shit too long. Why he still rapping? Like, niggas ain't want that song to end. You know what I mean? Like, Rod was just going bananas on that joint. So I definitely got that joint. So yeah, get in lyrical shape. All you MCs, get in shape, man. Y'all may need to, get on the treadmill and spit your rhymes while you're on the treadmill, so you get ready for the stage or whatever. You know what I mean? So, Vague, what you got up next, bro?
All right, my next one, I didn't realize that it was only two verses. When I listened today, the hook goes like twice or whatever. But it's Mos Def's Auditorium featuring Slick Rick of this Static album. And when I was listening to it, because I never really paid attention to what Most was saying because it felt generic, even though he was kind of talking about a topic. He loosely talked about liberation, but it was more so like in general. And then the hook runs like twice, like almost longer than expected, like he was supposed to have another verse or something there. But then Slick Rick talks about liberation in a much deeper way by telling the story of being an American soldier, a Black American soldier in Iraq, and how they want them to leave, right? Like he's like, hey, little kid, and he's like, get the fuck out of my country. And at the end of the story, they wind up bonding over music. But I thought the song didn't have a concept to begin with because I was like, okay, it's called Auditorium. Most just saying things, and then Slick Rick had this ill verse, and it took me to go back to realize that it was all about liberation and things happening in the world. But I think in a lot of ways, Slick Rick saved the song or made it greater because it was a dope story. It was a unique story. Like most, I won't say most rappers, because they're rappers who will rap about anything, but you just didn't see it coming where he's gonna say, I'm a soldier in Iraq, and then tell this story. And I could see it. And to me, in a lot of ways, it made the song much stronger than it was. And it was how it ended. But yeah, I was surprised when I heard that. And I was like, wow, Slick Rick, it's not no deep story. It's not like, numbers and shit involved. Like some niggas like some real technical shit. It's just, you can visualize it as he raps, and you understand it, even whether you've been a soldier or a kid in that country or not. You just know these types of things happen, and I thought it was dope for him to do that. So it felt like a third verse, but it really was only 2 verses on that song. So.
All right, no doubt. What you got, P?
I got MC Light's Like the MC from Light as Rock, and why I love that verse is because MC Light, I mean, I talk about this every now and then. I haven't talked about MC Light in a while, but she is her. And she's been her forever. And in a era where Light as a Rock came out, it was very difficult for female MCs to kind of be heard, be taken seriously, and all of that. And so for me, like, this third verse is dope because she's kind of like putting herself on the forefront, I want to say, and she's kind of like standing her ground, and I think that that's incredible. She's done that throughout the album. She doesn't back down. I mean, she's on top of she's stellar. So for me, this particular song, I think I hold it near and dear because I love that she recognizes her ability. I mean, here she says, everything is business, forget about games, you see, because once I'm finished, you're gonna know my name. And like, I just love that she came like that at that time on this particular album. So
Dope. Can't never go wrong with Light. So can't never go wrong with Light. JR, what you got up next, bro?
Nas is Halftime. That's actually my favorite Nas song, period. But I just, again, like how you said how Big kind of ended Unbelievable. I just like how he ended this. Like, he shouted out all the boroughs, and then, he was just like, ill will, rest in peace, yo, I'm out. Like, tied everything together and ended it like that. So I always like the end of his third verse on this, even though he had mad quotables on this joint, but I just like the way he ended it. So that's why I love that verse. That's
dope. That's dope. Bro, what you got next?
I got Big, and I got the third verse, "See You Nobody, So Somebody Kills You."
Yeah.
Before I get into that, the last 3 songs on that project, I could have used the third verse from those.
Well, here's a great part, bro. I got My Downfall and Long Kiss on mine. So
yeah. So you get what I'm saying? Like, that is the most eerie way to end the album. Those 3 songs, and they're like extremely dark. You know what I'm saying? But classics. You know what I mean? But I'll talk about your nobody till somebody kills you. You know, that third verse kind of is a prime example of what he was talking about in the first two verses, because he's describing the person. Silly cat wore suede in the rain. Swore he put the G in game. It's like he's talking to you, trying to describe the person that got killed. And then he's like, you know, the kid that blew half his brain off the QB, so cocaine, getting his dick sucked by crackhead Lorraine. And fucking shame, dude's a lame. What's his name? Dark skin Jermaine. You like, see what I mean? And it just kind of encapsulate the whole song. Like what he was talking about in the first two verses, he gave you the perfect example in a conversation format. You know what I'm saying? And that's the last song on the album. The album where he had passed a couple weeks before the album comes out. Like that's just a strange, like, turn of events. You know what I'm saying? But that third verse was classic. And those last three, I could have picked from those last three, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they all crazy. They all crazy. Eddie, what you got up next, bro?
I got Comment on Respiration, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. Crazy verse. I think what gave it even more impact, man, because the way Mos Def set that joint off, like, flawless. Like, Mos really set it off, you know what I'm saying? Talib had a dope verse, man, but to be in the cleanup spot, like, you really gotta come with it, you know what I'm saying? And that's the impact of that third verse, you know what I'm saying? Especially when Mos already set the table like that. And I think what Common did, like, you know, with his visualization, like, you know, almost, you know, poetic in a way, like, you know, kind of describing it from his perspective, right? You know, just fit the song and just close it really strong.
Right. I got two PE joints. Let's start with Rebel Without a Pause. Third verse. Attitude, when I'm on fire. Juice on the loose, electric wire, simple and plain. Give me the lane. I'll throw it down your throat like Barkley. You see my car keys, you'll never get these. They belong to the 9-8 posse. Now, some young boy out there is watching right now like, yo, come on, Kill. Juice on the loose, electric. Yo, let me explain something to you. In 1987, this was the craziest shit in the world. I don't care where you were. This was the craziest thing. You in Philly, I'll throw it down your throat like Barkley. Like, yo, that was our catchphrase in Philly. You know what I mean? See my car keys, you'll never get these. They belong to the 9-8 posse. Like, yo, come on, man. And then I go back with Fight the Power. Where he says Elvis was a hero the most, but he never meant shit to me. He's just a straight up sucker, racist. The sucker was simple and plain, motherfucker, men John Wayne, because I'm black and I'm proud. I'm ready, I'm hyped because I'm amped. Many of my heroes don't appear on no stamp. Like, that, I remember hearing that for the first time in 89. And it's like, yo, Elvis was a hero the most, but he never meant shit to me. Like, dog, like, this is not anywhere what I'm about to say, but it was like a smaller version when Kanye was like, George Bush don't care about black people. You know what I mean? Like, when Chuck was like, yo, because you would always hear about Elvis stealing from black people, but you never heard nobody really say that shit. Like, and so for Chuck to just say that, it was like, yo, this nigga just said that nigga was a racist. And then Flavor said, fuck him and John Wayne. Like, I get it now. That means nothing. Like, we say fuck everybody every other day. In 1989, you just didn't say fuck John Wayne and fuck Elvis, they racist on wax. You didn't do that. So that was huge. You throw the video that Babe was supposed to be in, and I mean, you just get one of the most powerful anthems and songs ever for third verses. So I got both of those. Babe, what you got?
Damn, I still regret that. I was outside for man long. I was there. I was gonna be in it. And I was like, I don't know what they're doing. The last one I have is, again, it was a song that, you know, my memory told me it was 3 verses, and it's really just a story that's one long ass verse, but could have been 3 verses when you look at the structure of it. It's Redman's Superman Lover 3. off the Muddy Waters album. And what I like about his finish is, you know, this is the third in his trilogy, Superman Lover, and the first two were already dope, but it's also connected and within the same universe as the Jane series by EPMD, even to the point where he mentions Parrish Smith in it. And I just thought that was so dope to not only tie his series together, but it just feels like, you know, like the MCU, right? Like, oh, if you hadn't heard Jane, you like, well, let me go back and listen to EPMD's series. So I just thought it was dope how he incorporated all of that, because you didn't really need to, right? But it just cleaned up that record, and that beat was just so dope, so different from the other two. Yeah, man, I was listening to it today, and I was like, this ain't three verses.
No doubt. Pete, what you got, babe?
So for my last one, I got Tupac's "I Ain't Mad at Ya," and the reason why that one kind of sticks out for me is because this is Pac telling you the story, and it's as if he's kind of like talking about past experiences with people, and he's telling you like you're, I don't know, like you're a set of ears, or you're a friend that's listening to him talk about this. And I feel like, again, this is another example of the elaboration. Yes, as a 2-verse song, it would be fine, and it would probably be sufficient. But again, he elaborates more in the third verse, and it gives you like a complete picture of what he's trying to convey. And I think that's what Pac was really good at. I think if we had all the time in the world to go through, you know, all the 3 verses, the best 3 verses, Pac songs would show up a lot because he was very good at elaborating this. And I know people are like, well, Pac's not a storyteller, Pac's not a lyricist, Pac's not this, he's not that. But he is. He's just not the same as others are, maybe. But he is telling stories, and he makes it engaging and relatable, and you feel the emotion, and you feel the, you know, just everything about it. And so for me, this one really, really stands out. So third verse, I Ain't Mad at Ya.
People say Pac's not a storyteller. I've never heard that. I've always heard that Pac isn't a lyricist.
I've heard everything. Pac is not a lyricist. Pac can't pick beats. Pac can't, like, the guy can't do anything right. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I've never heard the Pac didn't do stories.
Just in the crack house per kill, that is Twitter, that this is said. I have a hard time believing that in real life people would say that, but I have seen it on social media, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I could never see Pac don't know how to tell a story. But, you know, crackheads have been a crackhead. Gerald, what you got up next, man?
All right, my last one, because you said Troy already. I'm gonna go with Foxy Brown on Bang Bang.
Okay.
Yeah.
She went off, like, again, talking her shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, she went off on Kim, and it was no subs. You knew it was her. She was like, you know what I'm saying? She was like, you and Diddy kill me with that subliminal shit. Like, she was talking her shit. Like, whew. I said, damn. So I love that verse, because I don't even listen to Noriega or Capone's verse. I'm sorry. I go right to Foxy. And so I love how she killed that verse. So that was my
all right. Porsche, I'm sorry, you said that was your last one?
Yeah.
Your Boys the Men tonight.
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't know.
I think Jody's written one. So that was yeah.
All right. Bro, what you got up next?
Yo, I got Nas Taking in Blood, third verse, and supreme lyricism in his verse, like just crazy. Like he was like, time is wasting. They use the mind elevation, dime sack lacing, court pimp casing, individual lyrical math abrasion, psychic evaluation, the foulest nation we living in, dangerous lives, mad leak and battle wives, lifestyle on bad streets is patternized, wise man build and destroy while the real McCoy dope fiend named Detroit is still dealing boy, coke suppliers acting biased cause rumors say that niggas wear wires and we liars, but every night the gas fire and I remain a Mac Flyers and a fat Canias, just a killer ME / drug dealer MC, ex-slut, fill a semi-mug, pillar demi, bottles of mo, simply follow me flow for poetry inside a crack pot and blow. Rough hoes pull crack out pussies and buttholes, bringing G's to the D's roll. They can't touch those. Why shoot the breeze about it when you could be about it? My degrees are rotted towards the peasy head brick houses and studded up fake medallions. Rich niggas transport 1,000. Foreign cash exchange amount in the millions. Doors is locked, rocks is chopped. Watching cameras in the ceiling. Trick bitches catching mad feelings. Pulling off in a Lex Jeep, techniques is four-wheeling. There better be some shit when we connect with Stretch. When we catch them sex niggas with the text, you bless. But now it's on nigga wasting the slug. Time is money when it comes to mind taking in blood. Crazy.
Yo, man.
That whole verse, because he just went crazy on that whole song, but that last verse was retarded.
Here's a crazy thing, bro. I was listening to that last night for the I Gave You Power joint, and it just kept playing. And I was like, yo, I don't know. I just like fucking It Was Written. The older I get, this sounds crazy, a lot better than Illmatic, man. Like,
About to say that.
I'll never forget my man Esco said that shit to me like 15 years ago, and I was like, nigga, like, who the fuck are you? What are you talking about? But yo, as time goes on, man, I just love It Was Written. And I've always said that if I want to hear Nas, I'm always going to reach for It Was Written first. Now, I don't know if that means it's better than Illmatic. Illmatic has its place in hip hop, but I think at the 50th year of hip hop, I'm ready to say the 51st. I think It Was Written is the better album. Like, I just really, Nas is in his bag on a whole nother level on this album. You know what I mean? And it's just like that verse is just one example. I mean, listening to Watch Them Niggas, you know what I mean? CD cranking, doing 90 on the Franklin, D Roosevelt, no seatbelt drinking and thinking like, yo, I got no game. It's just some bitches that understand my story. My gay to brand is more like, never got no beef that my niggas wasn't handled for. Like, he's in his bag on a whole nother level on this. Bang, what do you think?
I think when Jay-Z said one was nah and the other was Illmatic, I was like, is this nigga talking about It Was Written? Because that shit sound like hate to me, because Illmatic is Illmatic. Shit, I got the fucking shirt on. But nah, I feel the same way. And like I think I said before on the show that it was Illmatic was different for me, because one, I was getting acclimated to him being this huge star, and he was still in the projects, and and I'm seeing him and talking to him, and I'm like, this nigga's huge, but he's here, so I didn't hear it in the same ways. And then all the Ill Will references, it was only like 2 years, we were only 2 years removed from his passing, so it was different for me. It Was Written was like, I had my first year of college under my belt, I had a job at Chase Manhattan Bank because I was a business major. I was feeling good. That joint came out, and when I heard like the message, I was like, yo, this is when I heard Eye for an Eye, I was like, yo, he's getting better. Shit, you want to talk about third verses? Like that third verse, ridiculous. But yeah, I agree, man. I think Illmatic is what it is. It did what it did for the time. You can't really take anything away from it. But if you want to talk about Nas himself as an MC, Esco is way better than the Illmatic version. He's way better. Like even the Take It in Blood verse, as he was saying it, I'm sitting there like I ain't even heard this shit. Like, oh yeah, right. It was crazy. So
yeah. Hey, what you got up next, man?
I got two verses from the same MC, man. I'm going with Prodigy. I'm gonna start off with Hell on Earth, third verse, man. Bro, he said, yo, the heavy metal king hold big shit with spare clips. You see it clips when the Mac split, your top got split. That shit. Yeah. Like, bro.
96p was a problem.
96p was crazy, man. I mean, just in insane way to like kick off that verse, and then like that whole verse was crazy. He was just going off on that, yo. And then I also gotta throw in, man, I prefer the album version of Quiet. So I know a lot of people like Lil' Kim version. Quiet Storm, where it's just Prodigy, all 3 verses, bodied. Absolutely.
We're in the minority with that because I've learned on Twitter everybody likes the Kim verse. I don't even like P's verse on that one.
No, me neither.
I don't even like it. Like I'm like, damn, nigga, what the fuck happened? Like, nigga, was you salty? I know this was supposed to go on your solo album, had to be pulled back from Mob. Now you mad because Kim on. Like, it sounded like he ain't even want to be there. Like, it was like, all right, you know, but that OG Quiet Storm,
One by himself is his magnum opus because he went crazy.
Absolutely.
All 3 verses.
Crazy, all 3 verses. Yep.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
all right. P, I know you tapped out. JR, you tapped out. Vague, you still got joints?
Nah, I don't have any more.
All right. Vague tapped out. Rel, you good or you tapped?
I got a few.
All right, and Eddie, I know you got some more too. I'm gonna go through a couple of mine. I got Poetry, BDP. When I heard this in '86, that third verse. So what's the problem? It seems you want to be KRS too. From my point of view, backtrack, stop the attack. Because KRS-One means simply one KRS. That's it. That's all. Solo, single, no more, no less. In 1986, there was nobody rhyming like this. This is why I'm always like, we got to give Rakim his props. There's nothing to take away from Rakim. But KRS, y'all got to mention his name too when you talk about changing the way MCs rhyme. I heard Poetry probably late 86, early 87. I'm blown because keep in mind, we talking 86, we still talk about Houdini's Funky Beat. We talking about Funky Beat. Okay? Go play Funky Beat and then go play Poetry and tell me that this nigga did not change the way people wrote their rhymes. That's it, that's all solo, single, no more, no less. Like, that was not happening. It wasn't happening in hip-hop, y'all. You know, and I know everybody has said Rakim. All praise is due. But you got to put KRS's name in there, too, for changing the way people rhyme.
You gotta, if you look at the lyrics from that song written down on paper, like, it's the most amazing shit you ever gonna see. Like, just from a literary standpoint, like, nobody, the fact that he did that so long ago makes no sense, bro. Like, but nobody was rapping like that, bro. Like, nobody was attempting to rap like that. And I used that song for something when I was in school. I had a social linguistics class, and I used that song for it. Those lyrics written down are great. Like the literary genres that we learned in school, like what he used for that is like, you could teach that shit in class, bro. Like, you could teach that in class, bro.
And this is 86. Another joint I got, Nothing Like It by Beans, the third verse. In about 9 months, like sperm in the womb, these young niggas never learn till they doom. Try to tell them you could burn young punk without smelling the fumes, make you shiver in the middle of June, paint a picture so vivid, you could hang it up in your room. When that nigga said, I'll make you shiver in the middle of June, then the nigga said, thinking about the mothers who suffered and prayed over us. Like, that shit was crazy. Bro, I'll go to one of yours, because I still got a couple more left. I don't want Brody every day.
Oh, okay. So I'm going way back. This is actually not the third verse. This is the 5th verse. But this is The Message. And if you listen to like what he's talking about and the imagery that he speak, like, that was ahead of his time. Like, that's reality rap that happened 20 years after that song came out. That's the basis of it right there. Like, niggas was not doing making songs with that type of subject matter and that in depth of what was going on. That last verse from Melly Mel, that was, you know what I'm saying, that was like, that set the standard for stuff that came later on. Like, you know what I'm saying, the Mobb Deeps, just the reality rap. It was set, in my opinion, on that song. That song was so long ago, I don't recall nobody making that like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Another verse where you can kind of see what he's talking about. You know what I mean? So that was ahead of his time. And that's actually the 5th verse in that song. But, you know, Jodeci niggas, so.
Right. Hey, what you got up next, bro?
Yo, man, I gotta go with J. Rue, on Return of the Crooklyn Dodgers. Like that was a crazy verse. And I think all three verses were crazy. You know,
Right.
as a matter of fact, it's like to have that be the sequel to the original Crooklyn, which is legendary track. And this shit was like just as good, if not, I don't know, it's arguable. I ain't gonna say it's better. I don't want people coming from, but it's arguable, bro. But the way he said that verse, man, like that might be one of J. Rule's top verses. And he got classic albums like Sunrises in the East and all that. But the quotables on that, like chips that power nuclear bombs, power my Sega. Like, yo, he was going off on that joint, man.
Yeah, true indeed, man. I don't know, Vague, Crooklyn 1 or 2, which one you got?
One, man, Buckshot. I just love how he is on that record, man. It feels good when you hear him say it, when you say it, the beat. And I think a lot of people sleep. Like Chubb Rock got busy on that second one.
Chubb Rock verse is crazy. Bro, I always say when I hear that verse, it feels like he's challenging Chuck D kind of, man. Like it's, you know, he gives me some of that. Like, but yeah, he went off on that for sure.
Pete, what you got? First Crooklyn or second one?
The first one.
First. All right. JR, what you got? You muted, bro.
I'm thinking, but I think I probably have to go with the first one.
All right, bro, what you got?
Yeah. That's
Master Ace. One.
And Eddie, which one you got?
Yeah, man. It's hard, man, because like here's the thing, man. I don't want to be that guy either, but it's like the first, like the way they were doing the more back and forth, right? Third one, everyone got their own verse. Like, so if I got to give it to the first one, it's just because they just show more chemistry with the way they were doing the back and forth with it, you know?
Right.
So to me, that gets the edge.
I'm going to be the odd man out as always, man. I got to go with 2. And it's hard. It's not too easy.
It is hard, man.
It's hard.
Right
I think
there.
the first time I heard the B, for 2, and then like hearing Chubb come in, hearing OC, and then like you said, J. Rue taking it home, and then it being in Clockers too. I think that kind of put it a little bit over for me too. So not an easy joint, but I'll probably have to go with 2.
Everybody has their favorite like verse or part or something that MC did from those 2 songs. It's difficult to pick, but Master Ace did it for me. But go ahead.
And then
I'm like Vague, the Buck on that, like I'm feeling another part of reality. Hits me when I represent the FAP, like Buck. So I feel with it. So again, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And then the other thing about 1, damn, am I gonna pick 1 now? Shit, like I'm talking myself out of 2 because it was also dope to hear Special Ed because we hadn't heard Special Ed since that Never Go Back shit, and that wasn't it. You know what I mean? So to hear Ed sounds good too, and shit. Then Ace verse on. I may have to go with 1. Damn, nigga, I need to just shut up and stop letting myself talk myself out of shit. Greg, what you gonna say?
Yeah, Master Ace had the sitcom.
Right. I was just about to say, like,
Yeah,
you know,
he's
company.
Shit, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then the video just fit perfect too, because it was like, you know, that was dope too. What were you saying, man?
I did have one more.
What you got?
Ether by Nas.
Let's go. Let's go.
When I first heard it, I was wondering how he was going to finish it, and even just the way he starts it. What he say? Y'all niggas deal with emotions like bitches. What's sad is I love you because you're my brother. You traded your soul for riches. My child, I watch you grow up to be famous, and now I smile like a proud dad watching his only son that made it. You seem to be only concerned with dissing women. When you abused as a child, scared to smile, they called you ugly. When life is harsh, hug me, don't reject me. or make records that disrespect me, blatant or indirectly. My God, I was like, yo, he talking to this nigga like he a shorty, like.
Literally sunned them, like literally sunned them.
Yeah.
Yo, man, and this is why I had to cop it, man. I had to cop the knives, man. I had to cop it, man. Like this dude right here, man. A nice little pretty penny out the bank for that, but I had to cop that because man, you know, definitely one of the goats right there, man. One of the greats who ever did it. I got 3 cash joints. I got Miss Jackson, third verse. Look at the way he treats me. Shit, look at the way you treat me. You know what I mean? And then the way he ends it, let bygones be bygones. You can go and get the hell on you and your mama. You know what I mean? Like, that was just a dope verse. So fresh, so clean. When Dre comes in, like, and just changes up the whole vibe of the song with those huge baby eyes running off at their mouth, tell me all the things that's on their nasty mind. I love who you are, love who you ain't. So Anne Frank, let's hit the ads to hang out about 2 weeks, which was dope. Jazzy Bell, man, that's probably one of my favorite Outkast songs ever. I love Jazzy Bell. So it's like Unkay, see me and old girl in the back on black like no stars. Windows are tinted so that no one knows who us are. Talk bad about a nigga, guaranteed to strap like bra. Straps talking bad like grandpa and grandpa. Like, yo, the way they just came in with that. And then again, in that third verse, they dropped the sample out so you just hear the drums. So again, that third verse also would give you the experience of the beat change. And Nas's third verse in One Love, same thing. Tip dropped the sample, it's just the drums. Like that third verse is giving you that experience too. Like Rel was saying, Big's my downfall. We used to hold the gold, now we floss with diamonds. Niggas want my team to stop shining. Pray my fame start declining. Whining like girls who've been around the world twice. You know what I mean? At the end, can you visualize it? Before I go to sleep, I check the beds in the closet so I can sleep safe. Not too many keep a meal in the briefcase. The infrareds help me sleep safe. But wait, you know what I mean? Long kiss, Frank Wright, the menacing, crime's the medicine. I got the lettuce in, you turn green like cucumber skin. Got the new hum in the new summer when I was a newcomer then. Drugs and Mac 10s, hugs from fake friends. Like, Big was just, I just wish we could have got a master class. Like, I would have just wanted to know, like, dog, where were you at mentally to write this shit? Like, you know, and here's the thing, y'all. Maybe this is something like MCs should do. Like, maybe y'all should, like, after every time you write a rhyme, like, video document, like, where your head was at. You know what I mean? Because I'm sure it would be hard for Big, if Big was still alive, to tell you where your head, like, I'm sure I can't ask Primo, like, yo, where was your head when you made Come Clean? Like, nigga, that was 34 years ago, Kill. I don't know where the fuck I was. Like, so it's almost like, maybe MCs, y'all need to document that shit, man. Because, like, I really want to know, like, yo, what, like Rel said, the way the last 3 songs, I was like, yo, dog, what the fuck? Like, what strain of weed was you smoking? Like, was that Bronson shit? Like, what were y'all doing to write this shit? Nas with Ether, like, dog, where were you at? Like, how, why, like.
I think I can answer some of that, or at least try to. I think it's just the motivation behind the record. You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, what do you want to establish in this record, right? And usually when you want to establish yourself as the best, then that's all you do, like Hoodie Vegas coming to headphones near y'all see. Right. But like even with that song, you know, been around the worldly twice. All we got is more ice and more nice. Sacrifice your heart. Like, well, you saying like, yeah, I know I've been away and all of that. Maybe that was the motivation behind those lyrics. Like, you know, like we're kicking the door. Like, you know, he even said it. I've said this 1,000 times in I don't know if it was Rap City or whatever, but it was like in between albums, Big. And he was just laying on the couch and he was like, everybody get y'all money, Mobb Deep, all y'all, get your shit off now. Because when I come back, it's over. And when I hear lyrics like that, I'm like, yeah, that's probably what he was thinking the whole time. Oh, y'all niggas think y'all better. Some of y'all niggas taking my formula. All right. So, yeah, I think that's part of it.
And I think that's another level of greatness of an MC to be able to do that, because that's some Larry Bird shit. Like, yo, I'm gonna play this 3-point shootout with my fucking shooting shirt on. Like, nigga, like, which one of y'all is coming in last place? Because, like, just the shit talking that Larry could do and back it up is like a piece of his greatness. It's not like this nigga was talking shit and couldn't back it up. This was a white boy talking shit, the niggas, and backing it up. You know, with Jordan, it's like, to me, it's just like that right there is just like the level of greatness that you understand that you are. Like you said, babe, that you could say, go ahead, eat, y'all, enjoy yourselves. Because when I'm ready, it's a wrap.
Right.
You know, it's a whole nother level of not just like, that's a huge level of like, nigga, I know I'm the shit. Like, it ain't even no doubt. Like, and even most niggas may have some doubt. Like, I know I'm dope, but you know, but to just be like, nigga, do whatever you want to do, bro. It's all good. Take it. Take it as yours. Dilla did that shit with the beats. Like, you like that? Take that shit. It's yours.
Right.
Wait till you see what I hit y'all with the next go round. Like, then y'all gonna bite that shit too. Like, you know, so it's just a certain level of greatness. So again, when people talk about Big and how can he be the GOAT and how can he be top 5 and he only had 2, it's so many other things that play a part in that. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ed, did you? Oh, my fault.
Just one last point on that. Just because, you know, we talked a lot about Big and Pac, and I know, like, with their passing, some people feel like, you know, well, that's where it stops. But I felt like when I heard I Ain't Mad at You, I felt like Tupac was great at what he did. You know what I'm saying? Because he had already done great songs, and I'm like, he's just a master at doing that. But the same thing with Big, where I felt like he was getting better, because that Funkmaster Flex freestyle with the locks, where he like popped the gat, ain't squeezed precisely where them niggas at. The fact is, the shay see the problems that you way too nice, please. Where that coke at? Fuck where it might be. Don't be like me, hard headed, insta burn when my gun burn, much hotter than sunburn. I was like, yo, this nigga was getting better. Like, how is that possible?
This dude is crazy.
So I to your point, Kill, I think at the end of the day, you know, we shit on these Twitter dudes all the time, but what they gotta understand is you are not listening to these rappers. You don't understand what's being said. So you kind of try to shoo it away because you don't understand. And I know it's easy to say that, but when we break it down, like when we talked about Love the Dough, and I was saying that bar about the Jesus piece, and I'm like, this is a record, dude's like, he's just talking about money, but I'm like, you hear what he's saying about the chain? It's all bars. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
Cats don't get it.
I want to say something about that to me, like, you just revealed something when you were reciting that Big verse that I feel like is a problem in hip hop today, is that it wasn't just what Big was saying, right? It was his rhyme patterns. It was how he put the words, like he was like a musician with how he was hearing that and putting it, like making the words bend, right? Mm-hmm. And I feel like not enough MCs are doing that now, right? They'll spit the bars, like you see the lyrics written down on a piece of paper, like, man, that's crazy. But does it sound that dope? You know what I'm saying? Not just when you read it back, but does it hit your ear in the same way that it was when it was doing it, when Nas was doing it, when Jay was, you know what I'm saying? Like, it had a way to kind of say those words, you know?
Yeah. Nah, and I mean, so again, I just think it's the level of greatness that some of these MCs have, and like you said, babe, to me, this is where being there plays a part. You know what I mean? Because it's easy to turn on a lamp and be like, electricity, like, yo, I love this electricity. Trust me, the niggas who were out there when they didn't have electricity love that shit much more than what we love it today. You know, it's like, I don't gotta light no lantern, I ain't got to go do this, I ain't got to. So when you're there and something new is coming at you, it hits and it holds a different place, because you're like I'm trying to say with KRS, if I say that rhyme now, it's like, what's the big deal, Kill? But it's like, nigga, this was 1986, okay? Houdini was still rapping about One Love, like, and I love One Love, but it wasn't no KRS shit, you know what I mean? That's why it's like, I always send people back a year to two before. If I want you to listen to Run DMC, nigga, I'm sending you back to 82. Listen to the Treacherous 3. You know what I mean? Then come and listen to Run DMC and see the difference. You know what I mean? Because if you just send them back to 85, 84, it's going to be like, yeah, what's the big deal? You know, it's just drums. You know what I mean? There ain't even no sample. Like, yo, at that time, that's all we had was drums, nigga. We wasn't sampling shit yet, you know? So, again, this is just for the millionth time of sometimes why you had to be there to really get the full function of it. Tell me this, Bay, do you think the third verse is ever coming back? With the majority of hip-hop, not with the majority.
No. Only because, you know, the dudes that make the most money off of hip-hop, they're not even great at doing it. You know, good at doing it. Forget great. Just they have no fundamentals. You know, that's why it's easy for them to be dismissive. That's why it's easy. Well, I won't say easy, but what I've seen now, remember when some of them dudes started going to the freestyle spots and it was just terrible. And now they got all kinds of theatrics and camera cuts and, you know, swirling around mics to kind of make them appear to be doing something dope. But you go Funk Flex joint, put the headphones on, you still got your coat on. Like, everybody just spitting. Unless you're a designer. But
yo, what happened to Bull?
That dude. Oh
that may have been the quickest. That may have been the quickest 15 minutes of the last 25 years, man. Because Panda was everywhere, and then that nigga tried to do something. He had like a song like Chucky Chucky or some shit like that, and
yeah, like trying to force it and call it art when you're just terrible. Like, yeah. And he never used to rhyme like that, which is so weird because I had heard some of his early stuff and I was like, oh, he actually, because he from Brooklyn. And I was like, oh, he used to rap regular, like most cats. But I just think in general, there's a whole generation that's just not interested in that. That's why we get excited over Nick Grant, but he's one guy, or you know, JID or J. Cole, and you know, it's just pockets. But in general, I just think everything is, you know, out of bounds. And Portia, like this, some of it I blame on Drake, because you want to talk about somebody who blurred the lines. We don't know whether to call him hip hop, R&B, like a nigga like both. So yeah, I don't see it.
All right, P, what about you? You think the third verse is coming back?
No, I don't think that fans have the attention span for it anymore. And I don't think that, like, it's supply and demand. So if there's no demand for it and people don't care for it, there will never be a supply for it. So I just feel like the attention span is just not there for the fans to demand that of the artists. And therefore the artists will never... Why spend the extra time in the studio, writing, recording, all of that, extending the producers, extending the beat? Like, why would they do that if there's no demand for it? So, no, I don't think it's coming back. I think it's lost.
You know what, P? I like that the supply and demand is one of the reasons why I don't know if drums are coming back to hip-hop, because people accept it without it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, if you could go to a Knicks game and get a hot dog without the bun and people are still willing to pay the same price, why would we ever bring the bun back? Because I can make more money not buying buns and still charging you the same price with it. It's funny, me and Ransom were going back and forth on Twitter a minute ago about this, because somebody said something about the third verse. He jumped in and was like, y'all don't understand. I forgot what he said. It was something to the extent of money. And I was like, well, everything ain't about the bag. I mean, him started going back and forth. And it was just like that. Something to the extent he said of like the third verse could be another song. You know what I mean? Like we could turn to like you're asking us to do this, and it's weird because Ransom may not have the third verse, but his songs are long. So it was actually shocked he kind of jumped in, because it was like, nigga, you don't have third verses, but you kind of do have third verses. So, but whatever he said, it kind of alluded to you could just that could be a whole nother song. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of... What'd you say?
I said he's not wrong in saying that. He's absolutely...
Right. I think the problem is just, I think, you know, I always say this and I always will stand on it. It's all about how you were raised. And I'm not saying I was raised right and someone else was raised wrong, but how you were raised is going to dictate how you are. You know what I mean? So if you were raised in a generation of writing third verses and that's what you kind of trained your mind to do, yeah, you could probably, I think it goes back to what Veg said. If you are skilled enough to be able to say everything you need to say in 2 verses, that's cool. You know what I mean? I think that's cool, but I just think it's about how you were raised. And if you were raised to only write 2 verses, it's kind of like, nigga, why do I need to write a 3rd verse? To make you happy, Kill? Like, fuck you. Like, I don't care if you know what I mean? So I think it kind of does just come down to that at the end of the day. How were you raised? And that's what you're going to do. If you were raised to treat women respectfully, you'll treat women. If you were raised to treat women, call them bitches, then you'll call them bitches. Like, it literally is just about how you were raised. So, JR, what about you? You think bridges are coming back to R&B or 3rd verses in hip-hop?
Mainstream wise, y'all just broke it down for real because people are accepting it without it. So it's like it's gonna be hard to kind of go back. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you do have people that's actually doing bridges, but again, they're not mainstream. You know what I mean? And whatever's working for mainstream, the powers that be is gonna keep it going. So if they ain't got no bridges in there and ain't got no 3rd verses and it's working fine and everybody's good, it's gonna be really hard for it to go back. So that's why I'm good with who I decide to, rock with. You know what I'm saying? Because I want a bridge. I don't mind a 3rd verse when it comes to hip hop. So I'm gonna listen for what's best for me, but it's gonna be hard to bring that back if it's acceptable now. So,
well, you think it's coming back?
No, because what's popular doesn't align with that. You know what I'm saying? So, and that people are eating and enjoying success off of what they're doing now. I don't think they're going to go back. Like, you know what I'm saying? What's popular doesn't fit in that format. You know what I mean? So I just don't see it. You know what I mean? It's just a different time, different motivations, and
Right.
But before I go, but I had 2 more 3rd verse Johns. Can I say them now?
Yeah, what you got? Yeah, no, say it.
I had Beanie Siegel on Get Down. He got quotables in this.
That whole song, that whole
he
throwing.
Said,
what did he say? Throwing eagles like the dirty birds, like McNabb.
He said, Siegel play with them eagles, nigga. Don't get tagged. Throw bullets out them dirty birds like McNabb. Bunch of niggas where your corners at. Got the rock, take the quarterback, bring a half back. You do the math, black. Ain't no warning black when I'm Warren Black. Mask over the braids, 2 9s like Warren Sapp. Bring your prosperity back to the hood like Bump J. Turn your block to Slump Day. Who want
gunplay, man?
Add up the one thing. My dollars, hollows holla. First class trip to Satan with flyer mileage. Guess who's the pilot? DOA Airlines. Dead on arrival. Flatline you. No survival. They can't find you. Like Kennedy Jr. You're kidding me, Jr.
Kidding me, Jr.
Out your league. Slow up. Pump your brakes, shorty. I'm way out your speed. Beans went crazy.
This is a very dope album right here, man. Crazy. So many quotables on this joint.
And that Beans joint, and surprisingly, if you Cannabis 3rd verse on Buckingham Palace, you ever heard that song? It's 3rd verse on Buckingham. All right, yeah. Look up Cannabis Buckingham Palace. All the verses.
That was on his album.
That's one of the only good songs.
Yeah,
on
that was like the one bright spot.
It's like the one bright spot on that album, and it's called Buckingham Palace. All 3 verses are crazy, but the third man, he went crazy. And one last one to look up. It's a song Lupe Fiasco did called Janila Forever. And Janila is a young lady a little girl that got killed in Chicago sitting on her father's lap. And her father was a ex gangbanger or whatever, trying to get out the game, whatever. She was sitting on his lap. Well, Janila Forever, he tells a story as if she survived. and she became a doctor, and she was off of her own practice, but she decided to stay in the hood and work at the clinic in the hood to help her people. And outside her clinic, a little girl got shot being held by her father, and she was the one to come in and try to save the girl's life. It kind of like story around a little bit, but check it out. It's called Janala Forever by Lupe. It's really a really good story, and the third verse is really good. So,
all right, dope. Definitely gonna tap in. Eddie, you think the third verse is coming back?
Not like that. Not like I think, you know, the MCs who could do it will do it. I mean, if you know, it adds to the story, like we were saying, right? You know, but honestly, I feel like a lot of these MCs, man, like their third verse would just be redundant, because what they even talking about, that we got to hear 3 verses of content, you know,
Right.
it's just redundant at that point. But you know, also think like to I think Vegas, what was it, Vegas that made the point, it's like that third verse could be another song, right? And like you got cats putting out like 2-minute songs, so it's like there a lot of it is like bare minimum effort. Like, I hate to say it, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, crank it out, or, you know, they barely got, you know, 16 bars, like, because they got like so many features, right? So I think that part too is like a lot of cats don't know how to write, you know?
Right.
You know
What's
what?
up, man?
I just had one thought. I don't know if this is the reason why, but it may play into it. But there is an era of SoundCloud and YouTube rappers that became major recording artists who probably didn't have anybody to tell them this is song structure, this is how you structure your verse and stuff like that. They kind of just made music on their own. Mm-hmm. They were like the, you know, one-stop shop for making the music, in some cases producing it, uploading and promoting. So if I'm doing $1 million on my song and it's 2 verses and they like 8 bars a piece, the record company is taking that also. They're not saying, hey, we're gonna have to shake this up. They're just kind of going with the wave. So I think in some ways, not having the same pipeline for artists to have someone to groom them or to show them these things, and they're already successful before they get in a major deal situation, I think it's kind of changed things also, because, you know, a person who can write 3 verses is like, well, I could write that song 10 times over. He only did 2 verses and that shit did millions of streams. Why am I working so hard? Or I could do better, you know, with less. So I think that may play a role in how things changed, because how you get a record deal and who's independent and the levels of it, it changed everything. So maybe it's some of that too.
One other thing I want to say, like, it kind of popped in my head, because a lot of the joints that we were saying, like, there was a lot of DJ Premier produced joints, and like I know he's talked about it in his like YouTube show, where like he's, you know, been involved in like songs and like, yo, like you got to have that strong third verse, right? And a lot of time now, like the producers just not even involved in the process, right? They just like, yo, here's the beat, do whatever you want. But a lot of them old school producers, like a Premier, like a Pete Rock or whoever, like they're really gonna push the artist to make the best song, right? So if it needs that third verse, they're gonna push him to do it, right? I feel like that's something Kill would do. Like if he's like, yo, if I get that third verse out of an MC, like if it's gonna make the song better, like, you know, he's gonna do it. But I feel like, you know, a lot of producers now is just handing off the beat. Yo, do whatever you want.
Yeah. And I mean, I think both y'all points is both dope points, because you think about how some of these players now, like Amari Stoudemire, for how great a player he was, he had 0 post game. And I'm like, how do you get through high school and college and you're in the league and have no post game? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, how do you get to this level of an MC and not know song structure and not know how to put a whole entire song together, you know? But again, this generation of kids is being raised where the coach can't say, I'm not going to play vague. Like Stephon Marbury, when he was at Lincoln, they was like, yo, you playing Steph as a freshman. He started. Fuck you talking about? Oh, we won't go to Lincoln then. You know what I mean? Like with that type of attitude, it's hard to be able to be a teacher. I can't yell at Rel and tell him to get in the gym and work on his post game if I'm scared he's going to transfer the second I yell at him. You know what I mean? And you know, try to school him and make him a better person. Like, these players don't want to be coached. They just want to get their bag. And a lot of these newer MCs don't want to be coached. They just want to get their bag. Like, to be honest, like, to me, it's the same. The league and hip hop is really a lot of the same. You know what I mean? It's boring after a while. You know what I mean? And then it'll, you know, maybe you get a little excited during the playoffs, but usually after that first round, you know. So again, I think it's just it's your goal. If your goal is to make great music, you'll do some third verses. If your goal is just to get the bag, you won't. I like Veg and Rel's point. If at least bare minimum, y'all, if you telling the story, do a third verse. Like, maybe that could be the happy medium. You know what I mean? If we want to do a compromise between the young boys and the old heads, if you tell the story, give us a third verse. Real quick, Veg, what you listening to this week? What's your number one album you listening to?
Well, as far as like new music or like
just whatever you banging. What have you been banging out to this week?
Yeah, I just started today, but I really like it. Dave East has a project out called For the Love with Scram Jones, and the whole aesthetic of the project, obviously it's about love, but it's 90s sitcoms kind of themed, right? A lot of Martin, a lot of Living Single, you know, love for hip hop is sprinkled in there also, and they flip a lot of beats like that, right? Like they flip the theme to Living Single, but they also flip songs that say love and will have love in it or whatever. But it's really dope. Like, and I think it's like what Dave East needed to do, right? Because there's only but so much of him talking about the streets in the same way, talking about money himself in the same way. He kind of needed a break from it. And when I was listening today, I was like, man, this is well put together project. It just works. And I like what he's saying. It doesn't sound generic, right? Cause like I hate West Side Gun's love songs. Like I turn them shits right off. As soon as he start like spit in your face, I'm like, all right. Cause what, like, dog, that shit, make that shit for her. Like I don't want to hear that.
Right.
But it's really good. I don't know if y'all can see that joint. Oh shit!
All right, I gotta tap into that joint. All right, For the Love. All right, bet I gotta tap in that. Pete, what you playing this week?
Soul Survivor, Pete Rock. I love that album so much, and so I go back to it pretty often. So yeah, I've been begging Soul Survivor.
Dopest producer album ever for me. JR, what you listening to this week?
Cy Smith's to the Till We Meet Again.
That's the new album with Trey on it, right?
Yes, I have been banging that since it came out. That album is so dope. I can't stop listening to it. So
all right, I need to tap in with that. Well, what you got?
I've been listening to Fab. Ironically, he put a lot of these new little freestyles out. The Selfish freestyle, the Snoop. They've been fire. So that's what I've been really listening to.
It's funny, I was listening to the Soul Tapes because you was banging that when I came into the Bowie's joint. So it's like I remember that. Yeah, I was like, I need to go back to these Soul Tapes too. So yeah, I feel you on that. Eddie, what you listening to?
Yo, I found the Lucy Pearl CD in a freaking dollar bin, my local record store, and it was like pristine condition too. So yeah, I've been bumping that. Yo, I was reading the liner notes and I didn't realize Raphael Sadiq was a member of the Ummah, because it was like produced by Raphael Sadiq for the Ummah. In the liner notes, I guess I was reading he was kind of a sometimes.
To me, it's kind of like Busta being in native tongue. You know what I mean? Like, cause
right.
I think I still have that cover of the Ummah when they were in Vibe, and it was just always, you know, Ali, Tip, and Dilla, you know. So maybe he was an honorary member, maybe he was a member by the time they was breaking up, like, who knows? But God bless you that you can still read liner notes, because I can't read shit because I need glasses. So God bless you. JR, I've been dying to know this because I love this album. I'm sure you're gonna say you hate it. What do you think about the new Usher album?
I hate it.
Okay, I knew that was gonna happen. So we're back. We're normal again.
I hate it. Yeah, I only like 4 songs, and I to be honest with you, I wasn't really hyped about it. To be honest with you, I was more hyped.
Keep in mind, I wasn't hyped at all, and it may be why I came into this with 0 expectations.
And see, I did too, because I was just like, I'm not hyped about it, because I was more hyped about the Super Bowl performance than this. So I was like, Usher had already kind of, when it came to his albums, I've already been kind of on the decline, so I wasn't going into it like, oh God, but he feeding us this bullshit about, oh, it's gonna be R&B to the fullest and blah 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 blah. I'm like, so when I listen to it and I only like 4 songs out of 20, you can have it. I'm good.
All right. So we're back to normal. I like something JR doesn't. So we're back. Eddie, where can they get at you, bro?
My bad. I was muted, man. You can catch me on Twitter, man. Dude, I was like unintentionally stirred some shit up, man, with yo, like I don't know if y'all saw, I think y'all saw it was this dumbass you know, does Raekwon have a classic album post, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I responded with like sarcasm, and then Knowledge the Pirate, I guess he didn't get the sarcasm, and he like tried to go in on me for like, oh, you stupid, and bro, yeah, everyone went in on him. I was like, damn, I guess he ain't got stands like that, man, because yeah, he got piled on.
Somebody who does not have stands. I've been telling people even roaches have stands on Twitter, man. So I'm shocked that Knowledge doesn't have stands, man.
Not like that, man. Because
yeah. All right, no doubt. Rel, what's going on? What you cooking up? Where can they get at you, man?
Uptown Rel 215 on the gram, JBent 215 on Twitter, and my new album starting recording next week. So. You know, Kill, JR, Vegas, your inboxes, you know, gonna be, you know, some stuff coming to your inbox. My new album is called It's Not You, It's Me, and it's a lot of songs about love and relationships, all types of relationships. So yeah, this for you, Porsche. So I'm gonna start recording next week. So yeah, be on the lookout. Yeah.
All right, JR, where can they get at you? What you cooking up with the R&B?
R&B raps is still the same. I'll catch that episode will be out. We talked about the lows, levels, and tweets. I was creative for this. We just did a dope episode with Vegas where we did Neo's In My Own Words, which was an amazing episode. Elise is gonna start doing her because you know she was on vacay, so she's back. So she's gonna start with her 60 seconds of vinyl again. So she's gonna start that. My episode of JR's Motown Life will be out. I talked about Never Could Say Goodbye by the Jackson 5. You can catch us on the R&B Reps on Instagram, Twitter, and JR R&B Rep on Instagram, and JR's World of Soul on Instagram. Yes.
All right, no doubt. P, where the computer froze, taking me too long. Okay, just drop like that. Y'all know where to get at her. She hates Drake, loves P. There you go. Veg, where can they get at you, bro?
You can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. I have a podcast called Hip Hop Now Podcast, which is news and perspectives. It's available in audio form. It's also available on YouTube, video form. Trying to get to 500 subscribers. So go over there and check it out. If you like it, subscribe. Definitely share. Also, I appeared, I had a big week. I was on everybody's shit. I appeared on Into the Dome. Shout out to Tony's podcast, and we talked about the year 1999. We dropped a lot of knowledge, and if you don't know, we used to do a podcast called That Time in Hip Hop video, basically podcast. We're going to do more episodes because a lot of people just enjoy it. They enjoyed the nostalgia of it. They enjoyed learning a couple of things, and I think when we did this 1999 episode, it just, like, it's a year that not a lot of people talk about because they talk about 96, 97 like crazy. But 99 has so much to offer. Like, everybody was eating, everybody was successful, and it was all types of people who were dropping albums. And it wasn't until I did that episode with him and I went back and looked, and I'm like, damn, the 90s was crazy. Like, no wonder people talk about it, because even 99, I mean, you had Jay, Nas, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Missy, all these people dropped within the same year. So it was kind of crazy.
All right, no doubt, no doubt. You already know what it is with me, Kill 889, Twitter, IG. Always a good time on my timeline. I have no idea how the craziest, weirdest, most crackhead people in the world find me. There's literally over 10 million people on Twitter, but somehow they all find me, man. I don't know how, man. But yeah, stop by the timeline. Always a good time over there. I'll catch y'all next week, good peoples.